Production on the second generation Acura NSX is coming to a close, but they're not leaving without a bang. And this is the bang. This is the 2022 NSX Type S. It's the most powerful, best handling, and most expensive NSX ever. We're going to drive it at Sonoma Raceway right now on Driving Sports TV. Supercars are just weird. Outside of McLaren and Ferrari, most car makers don't make a living off of selling supercars. Instead, they have two functions. Number one, as a platform for R&D. For Acura, more importantly, the NSX is a halo vehicle. That means it shows what is possible. It provides a glow that encompasses all their other products. So when you see an MDX or an RDX, you think, hey, isn't that the company that makes the NSX supercar? At least that's the intention. So this is the latest and greatest. It is the Type S. It's the first time they've ever done a Type S on the second generation NSX, and we are going to drive it here at Sonoma Raceway.
But as we were reintroducing the Type S brands to the full Acura lineup, TLX Type S was the first Type S we've had in over 15 years. We're just introducing the MDX Type S. We need to do a Type S version of this to just kind of cap off the fantastic production run for the second generation. Type S for us is go, stop, and turn. So what are you going to do to make the car go faster? What are you going to do to make the car turn better? What are you going to do to make the car stop better? And what are you going to make it do it to make it look really cool?
Let's check out all the features.
In the back is a twin turbocharged 3.5-liter V6 coupled to a sport hybrid electric system for a total output of 600 horsepower and 492 pound-feet of torque. The transmission is a 9-speed DCT. Our test vehicle was equipped with the optional carbon ceramic brake kit to eliminate fade while flogging it on the track.
For the second generation car, as the technology in the market is going electric, we wanted to demonstrate the capability of electrified powertrain. We've got a twin turbo V6 internal combustion engine, and then there's a very large electric motor coupled directly between the engine and the transmission. And then it is all-wheel drive. The all-wheel drive portion of this car is actually a twin motor unit in the front. It allows us to do torque vectoring left-right on this car, which gives it really sharp handling. And so we've really wanted to demonstrate that level of technology in this car and make it something special.
Acura is only building 350 NSX Type S's, and only 300 of those are coming to the US. Plus, they're already sold out. That said, the car we're driving today does have options, and it's priced at $186,750 US before destination and delivery.
Okay. Inside the NSX, it is like a proper supercar. If you've never been inside one of these or ever been in a supercar at all, it's a very unique feeling. It doesn't think practical. It thinks what is the best way to envelop the driver, make them pinned in the seat, give them all the information that they need at a finger's reach. And I think they did a really good job here. The steering wheel, oh, I like that carbon fiber piece up there. That's cool. Actually, there's carbon fiber all over the place on this vehicle. And did the motor just start? Yes, it did, because this is a hybrid. So it'll actually be in all electric mode until it decides it wants to turn on the gas motor to generate power. So it's going to be turning on and off throughout this talky bit, I think. In the steering wheel, it has integrated controls, which are very nice. Wow, those paddle shifters feel amazing. Gauge cluster up here with a digital info display integrated into the middle. Now it's very raked back in that it's very slanted, which is kind of surprising. By the way, I am filming this on the hot pits of Sonoma Raceway, so KTM crossbows crossing the shot. It's just what we have to put up with. So moving on down here, we have this really nice kind of like a wing spread center cluster. It is using the older Honda infotainment system because even though this Type S is new, the NSX itself is not new. So there's some vestiges of, Honda / Acura's past, and this infotainment is definitely one of them. It does have navigation, which is fine, You're not buying this for navigation clearly, but let's try a quick search. Go to Inner Search, do a quick search for Starbucks. Okay, Starbucks. That's weird. The sound is like coming around me. It's not even coming from here. It's like echoes through the cabin. That's kind of interesting. We do a search and there's one 7 miles away. We click go and boom, there we go. So I talk about this infotainment system only because it's actually an area where vehicles like the McLaren really kind of don't do very well. They use systems that are kind of awkward and weird, and they just don't work well. The benefit here is that Acura is a mass market producer. They produce cars by the hundreds of thousands. McLarens are great. They're super fun to drive. Are they comfortable? Not really for long distance. Are they usable? As a car they are, but as driving to the market, it's the whole center cluster, it's a non-functional mess basically. This one really does give you the comfort and capability in terms of functionality that you would expect even in a Honda Accord. And if you want a supercar you can drive every day, that stuff is important. And you can tell yourself it's not until you drive it every day. And then you're like, all I want to do is navigate to the nearest Starbucks. Why do I have to use this super slow, cryptic, awful system? McLaren. So moving on down here, we do have physical buttons for the dual zone climate control, and then we have the dynamic settings. The dynamic settings are where things get exciting. They even give me, once I activate it, it gives me a little chart that shows me how powertrain, the all-wheel drive, the VSA, suspension, and steering are all modified based on the program. So quiet is going to be mostly electric, and it's going to basically be everything toned down. Sport kicks things up one notch. Sport Plus pushes everything to the right except powertrain, all-wheel drive, and VSA. But then you go track, and everything is to the max. And that's also the least amount of stability control, because if you're in track mode, the assumption is you know what you're doing. Is that always the case? Probably not. And they even have the standard Acura push buttons for go, park, and reverse, and I actually do like this. This is a nice setup. I've said it before in my Acura reviews. I have no problem with this. I like how you have different motions for different things. Park is a push, drive is a push, reverse is a pull. That's how it should be. So this NSX, this is comfortable. It looks good. I'm really excited to take this on a track. I've driven the NSX a lot on around town. I've driven it around LA. I've also driven it through canyon roads, but I've never had it on a racetrack. And I've been told that that's where this car really comes into its own. So this is going to be exciting. Now, in terms of driving every day, there is one thing that this NSX still lacks that you can get on a McLaren, and actually makes the McLaren a little bit nicer for day-to-day use, and that is a hydraulic lift on the nose. These things are so low. The moment you want to go into a gas station, if that grade on that driveway is too steep, you will grind your very expensive carbon fiber nose. But that aside, I'm really excited. We're going to take this on the track and we're going to see how it performs at the limit. Okay, when I say at the limit, probably 7/10, because let's be honest here, this isn't a race. Okay, let's have some fun. Okay, so this is, of course, the hottest, fastest, most intense NSX ever. And it is, of course, also the last of the second generation NSX. What will the next NSX be? Nobody knows yet. I would expect they'll go full electric, because when this came out, hybrid was, it was a thing, but it wasn't everywhere. These days, hybrid is kind of old news. So I expect that they will take this thing to the next level and really give us something that'll compete very squarely with the high-speed capability of the Tesla, but also give us the handling of the Taycan? Maybe. So for this new vehicle, they actually took a lot of components, specifically the turbos, off of the GT3 car. The full-on race car, they have applied what they've learned to this car here. And then beyond that, what? Oh, straightaways are awesome! The brakes are, of course, massive. It's hard to monologue, it's hard to talk about the car while I'm driving it like this. So this is just a fun run. We are running behind a pro driver. I'm not allowed to go too crazy here. And of course, I am not terribly familiar with this track, so I really have to stay on it. Now they've marked our corners, which is good. I could have gone wider there. But really what it's about is feeling this car and the balance and the all-wheel drive. They've modified the electrical output here, so it's not just the old car again. This is improved. It has the same size battery pack, but it uses more of it, and it has more output. That means more torque also to the front wheels, because on top of that, they've also changed the gearing of the electric motors to the front wheels. So if you didn't know, this car is basically powered by a gas engine in the back, and it has 2 electric motors in the front, and then it also has another electric motor for a boost in the middle. What you get is a car that is so quick and so composed, it is just insane. I need a lot of laps in this car to even touch the envelope of what it's capable of. Just jumping in this and doing 3 laps, yeah, that's tough. That's really tough. But what I can tell you is that there is a really wide envelope here. I can feel that I'm not even barely scratching the surface of what this car can do. Oh, it is so much fun. Now, recently I drove a 911 down at Porsche's Performance Center, and that has a very unique track feel to it. This does not feel like a 911. It's not supposed to. It's an all-wheel drive hybrid. Very, very different type of machine. But I can say that in terms of rewarding feedback to the driver, this is right in there. This feels amazing. The grip, the tires are actually specially designed for this car. It's a special P0 called the HO designation, and you can buy these on Tire Rack. And they're also not only super sticky, they're also wider than the standard NSX. Oh man, this is so much fun. So the sad thing is that you're not going to be able to get one of these anyway because they are all sold out. For Driving Sports TV, I'm Ryan Douthit. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share our videos. We make them for you, and I hope you enjoy.